Welcome to Pep Talk, when Pep talks and your heart is encouraged. Hi friends, Stephanie here, and welcome to Pep Talk. Most people close to me call me Pep. It's a nickname I've had since childhood and it kind of stuck. So welcome to Pep Talk, the very first episode. This is a space where art, birds, stories, eternal reflections, and encouragement gently meet. And today, I want to share a very personal story, one that began with a small lovebird and a window in a door. When I adopted my very first lovebird, he was curious about everything. Especially this window in this back door to the deck, which overlooks beautiful mountains, blue sky, wild birds flying, fresh air. It seemed pretty inviting. And one day, my little baby Ting flew toward it, thinking that he could pass through. Well, of course, it didn't have the decals like it has on it now. And he hit the glass. Thankfully, he was okay. But what struck me was he thought he could access the outdoors. He thought he could go through. It looked so open, like another world he could just quickly get to. So he tried again. And the moment he did that, something struck me and stopped me straight in my tracks. Because immediately I was reminded of something that had happened to me years earlier. You see, not long before baby Ting's window incident, about 16 months earlier, my sister passed away from a terminal illness that she had been battling for years. And about 3 years before her diagnosis, there had been, as it were, a window in my own life that appeared to be open. At least it looked that way from my perspective. I had spent 2 years working really hard to apply to graduate schools that aligned with the academic training that I had had. I had strong recommendations, glowing reports from my mentors who were also my supervisors for my research work. I had written first author peer-reviewed journal articles at 2 separate observatories. Everyone, including my supervisors and mentors, were shocked that I was rejected. Not once, but twice. Each year I had applied to 3 different schools, and the rejection letters just kept coming in. I couldn't understand it. I had worked so hard. I felt like this was the direction I should take. It was like I was standing in front of a wide open window and I could see everything out there, but I just couldn't pass through it. At the time I wondered, should I just try harder? Should I be more persistent? It seemed like up to that point in my life, that's what I had done. And I had continuously applied and achieved success. But was there something different to this situation? I just didn't know what I should do. Was it something else entirely that I should do? I knew that if I applied again, it would take another full year because the application deadlines were yearly. So what should I do in the meantime if I should do that? There were so many questions and I was praying, I was seeking God. Maybe my direction should change. I asked God, what was I missing? And then at the end of summer 2018, my sister was diagnosed. Suddenly, everything shifted. The years that I could have been abroad and away from family, I was meant to be at home. I was there. I was there for all the appointments, for interpreting the doctor's information so my parents could understand it. I was there for encouragement, for support. But more than that, I was there before her diagnosis. I was there to build relationship. We shopped together. We drank tea together. We had great conversations together. We grew our friendship. And even during those years, I remember thinking, I'm so glad that I have a sister who is my best friend. We got to know each other in a way that I could have never known her if I had flown out the window. Those years, the ones that came before the diagnosis, were a gift, and I would have missed them if the window were actually open. And those years, enjoying life together and growing in our friendship, those were the years that actually helped us in the trying years after her diagnosis. At some point, it became very clear to me that no degree, no academic achievement, no dissertation that no one else had conceived of or written before, nothing in the academic world could ever come close to relationship. Heaven has always prioritized relationship. And I felt with deep peace that what had felt like rejection was actually protection. What had felt like a closed window or a closed door was actually God saying in a loving way, stay. So as my Lovebird recovered after hitting this window twice, I realized that he wasn't wrong to desire what was out there, but he couldn't see as I could see as his caretaker. He didn't know what would befall him if he did get out there. He didn't know it from my perspective as his caretaker, the dangers that were out there. He couldn't possibly know that. And neither could I have known what I would have missed back then. Maybe you're standing in front of an open window right now. Maybe it's a career path. Maybe it's a relationship. It's a dream that you've had. And you can see it so clearly. But every time you try to access it, you move toward it, you get stopped. If that's you, I want to gently offer you this. Sometimes a door or a window that looks open isn't actually meant to be opened. And it's not because you failed, but there's something deeper happening. Perhaps that door or window isn't open because something far more meaningful and precious is being protected. Today I can say without hesitation, I have no regrets. I wouldn't trade those years with my sister for anything. And I trust more deeply now that when God closes a door or doesn't open a window, He's doing it from a place of love, even when we can't see it yet. Thank you for spending these moments with me today. If this story resonated with you, feel free to sit with it. You don't need to understand all of it at once. Just take the time to unpack it and let God reveal it to you. Some windows only make sense with time. See you in the next Pep Talk.